Hi folks, back again. I first of all just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who got in touch last week to my previous video. Had loads of DMs and comments and WhatsApps and all the rest of it. So thank you very much. It was great to see such great engagement. Because of that, I've decided I'm going to do these a little bit more regularly. So I'm going to try and do them every week. They won't all be about Elon Musk and Twitter, but this one certainly will because it's been all over the news for the last 7 days as well. So there are two main stats that I want to focus on. The first is the fact that advertisers seem to be pulling out of Twitter. So the likes of Pfizer, GM, United Airlines, Audi have been pulling their ads out of Twitter, certainly in the US. Now, this is because they're concerned about things like brand safety. What are their ads going to appear next to? They're worried about an influx of misinformation, disinformation, and potentially, racism, sexism, whatever else. All of that unsavory stuff that advertisers certainly don't want to be seen next to. In response to things like spam, misinformation, that kind of thing, Twitter has now introduced an $8 verification paid option called Twitter Blue. Twitter Blue's always been around for a while, but they're going to make verification paid. I'm sure you've heard about it on the news. A good person to follow if you want to cut through the froth, because the mainstream news reporting is often good, but there is some misunderstanding. If you want to get straight to the kind of source of the information, I'd recommend following Yoel Roth, who works on this stuff at Twitter. So he's on @YoYoel. Really great source of information about the things that they're doing to try and combat bots and spam and everything. The logic behind the $8 verification is that it raises the cost of doing spam to such a high level that the returns aren't worth it anymore. So at the moment, it's essentially free to set up bots and spam people about your NFT or your crypto or whatever else. $8 an account makes it a lot less viable as a business opportunity, essentially, to spam people. The other stat is that Elon has tweeted about himself is that Twitter user numbers seem to be going through the roof. They seem to be higher than ever before. So their monthly and daily active users are going up and up and up. So the fact that advertisers are going and users are going through the roof, to me, presents quite a big opportunity for advertisers who aren't perhaps as cautious or, in my view, overly cautious as some of the bigger ones that have pulled out in the US. Because digital advertising, as I'm sure many of you know, works on real-time bidding. It's a live auction. It works on supply and demand. So what you've essentially got on the supply side is loads of inventory because loads of users are coming to the platform and their active users are going up and up and up, and very low demand because advertisers are leaving because they're worried about brand safety and placement and all of that kind of stuff. So what happens when you have lots of supply and not very much demand is that costs come down. So I would suggest that it's quite likely that CPMs on Twitter will come down, and so you'll start to get more and more bang for your buck for those who do choose to invest their advertising on the Twitter platform. Now, I obviously can't guarantee this. I don't. This is there are lots of other variables that come into play. It's not just that. Supply and demand, it's really more applicable to the big ad buys than the kind of more agile demand gen kind of stuff. But as a general rule, my guess would be that CPMs will trend down if user numbers continue going up and advertising demand continues going down. So I do think there are bargains to be had on the Twitter platform. It's certainly something that's worth testing. In all digital marketing, it's always worth testing and learning and finding out for yourself. But it's just my 2 cents that I think that there quite possibly will be some opportunity on the platform. But that's what I think. So I would love to hear what you think. Do you disagree? I know there are lots of people with very strong views about Twitter's becoming an inhospitable environment for different groups. Love to hear more about what you think. So leave a comment, drop me a DM, and I will see you next week.